Hi, good afternoon, everyone. As Dr. Shah said that I'm the last participant, I think I'm just in between the closing. So
Last but not the least, I forgot to mention.
I'll try to be very, very quick because I think this is the closing session. So people wanted to have some commitments and fulfill those as well. So but it sounds very good and feels very good when somebody else explain or praise you. Particularly, Dr. Das explained my achievements in a way. I forgot those anyway. Anyways, okay, so let me share the screen. First, entire screen share. Uh, is my screen shared for the presentation?
Yes, that's good.
All right, that's great. Okay, so my topic is AI-driven transformation for client onboarding and performance in small accountancy practices. So I'll try to be quick because the time is very short, and I would start with one of the example. I was the manager in one of the firm, and the timesheet was used to be maintained in the last 15 minutes of the day. So on the next day, when I asked one of my colleague that I believe you have missed the timesheet, and he mentioned that he had received a call from his wife's maternal cousin who was asking for the plumber solutions. And I requested him, but we are an accountant. But he said that it's basically related to my wife. So it's basically, I would say that AI, which is very famous station, won't replace the accountant, but definitely it will assist in finally submission of the timesheets and remove the excuses. So with this, I'll start that basically I'm also working in a small accountancy practice, heading that. And with small accountancy practices, we face a lot of problems. It starts with the client onboarding, which if we categorize it, subcategorize it with AML check, know your client, KYC, professional clearance, engagement letters, and then it moves, uh, it then the financial statements preparation, and then statutory submissions, disengagement, and many other things, and references, and many other things. So even if I try to restrict it to the client onboarding, and one of the key point is the engagement letter, we can see that approximately the supervisory bodies, all of the leading supervisory bodies, has mentioned that if the engagement letter well presented, covered all of the things. Most of the court cases against who sued the client accountant is can be dealt with without any problem. And the result of that court case says that above 70% was covered by the engagement letter. So that's what basically the expectation gap between the compliance. It also basically the next step is the compliance issue. We are very prone to the compliance, and it's not only the HMRC, the regulatory body for statutory submissions, but also the GDPR and supervisory bodies, which basically one of my other colleague who is from another firm, they had a investigation from the supervisory bodies, and uh, at the end of the conclusion, he mentioned that the supervisory body was asking me a lot of questions more than my grandfather asked me any question about me. So this is what the life of accountant. So my research and objective is basically to understand and explore AI's impact on onboarding and performance, and particularly compare it with UK and the emerging context of Pakistan. And the major focus is efficiency, compliance, and profitability. We have got an expectation gap. It's basically the corporate levels they can afford, they can implement the policies, they have got artificial intelligence implementation, robotic process automation. But considering the small accountancy practices, which constitute approximately just the data services, 82% of SAPs, small accountancy practices are 82 form the population of 82% in the UK. And we can see that they are always under the workload, answering the calls, providing the services, advisory services, and that basically makes them more vulnerable, particularly for those things which are compliance issues, because they are more towards the delivering the jobs, but their compliance is always at risk of not meeting them. So that's why the manual onboarding procedure is a lot in their work, and they do not get time for the strategic development and advise in a way that they could have done. So It basically, again, as in the previous, my colleagues mentioned, and Dr. David has mentioned that whether to give compliance in the hands of AI, I also agree that basically it's a tick and cross procedures with the accountancy that basically the compliance are met with all of the data set, and it can be met through AI. It also increases the cross selling. So the overall objective, which will address, is reducing the workload of the accountancy body by reducing the repetitive work and increase the cross-selling advisory opportunities. My research question is whether AI mandate metadata improves cross-selling. That basically needs to be looked at. And does automation reduce cost and time? What drives AI adoption in the UK versus Pakistan? How does AI enhance compliance? I've got theoretical a framework for that resource-based view, how it works in the technology, how the organization will react to that, and how the environment, particularly the external factors, will be will be viewed on it. So framework suppose contextual adaptability. The AI model, we have got three core functions, which is NLP and OCR, uh, particularly natural learning processing and optical character recognition. We can develop through NLP and OCR by reading all of the information, interlinking the data which is received from the other accountant for the previous years, transform them into the meaningful translations, and then give a snapshot to the accountants so they can correlate the previous analysis with the current and the future analysis, and then can decide and advise based on the legislations, which are over 100,000 pages legislation based on 7 yellow books. So it's too much complicated. So accountant needs the time to advise and serve the better quality of services to the client rather than stuck in the compliance and all of these administrative work. So okay, so we understand that UK has got a emerged technology, Pakistan is emerging. Uh, there's a different expectation gap, different procedures, and different understanding about the AI as well. I mean, the understanding word I've used is because that in Pakistan it is used mainly to cover the basic work, and here, the advisory side, we can see that the Finance Act has been translated and has been put into AI, who basically advise and support the accountant in a way that they can better serve the clients in providing services. So this research also look into the revenue and cost by the implementation of AI for small accountancy practices. Uh, it it saves 85% of onboarding time, and it also increases the revenue of the firm. So in overall, the outcome of this research will serve the humanity, particularly for accountancy professionals who form the 82% population in the UK, by reducing their 85% onboarding time, and also would increase their 5 to 20% of their cross-sell rates for the client. So that will eventually boost clients' lifetime value. The key takeaways are AI converts compliance data into strategy, growth through advisory work, Pakistan's survival through efficiency, internet disruption, and many other issues. AI enhances, not replaces professional judgment. And again, I would say that AI won't replace accountants, but accountant using AI will replace those who don't. Thank you.